Assemblyman Weber.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On the bill?
On the bill, Assemblyman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise briefly to comment on this bill, the intent of which, as I understand, is to encourage a public information campaign about the Affordable Care Act, or ObamaCare, as the health exchanges begin to be implemented across the country, talking about things like reducing the number of uninsureds that it claims to achieve, or the quote-unquote personal responsibility requirements in the bill. And I can't let this opportunity pass to point out to the sponsor and to the body that even the sponsor of this law in the United States Senate, retiring Senator Max Baucus from Montana, has called the coming Obamacare implementation a train wreck. And I would encourage, if we're going to have a public information campaign about this law, Madam Speaker, well, let's tell New Jerseyans all about the health exchanges, and let's tell them all about some of the things about Obamacare that will really impact their lives. We talked last session about how college students at our community colleges no longer can afford the bare bones coverage that they need because of the upcoming regulations that we expect from Obamacare. We should realize that when we talk about the personal responsibility requirements.
On the bill, Madam Speaker. Is he on the bill? I don't think he's on the bill.
Yes.
Yes. I'll read the bill if you'd like, Madam Speaker.
Assemblyman Conaway, you're absolutely right. I gave you a little bit of latitude, Assemblyman, but you do need to focus your commentary on the bill.
I understand that, Madam Speaker, and I respect your responsibility to maintain the debate. I will point out that I'm quoting directly from Assemblyman Conaway's bill that has the legislature finding and declaring that there are personal responsibility requirements in the legislation. So I'm commenting on that text from the Assemblyman's bill. And what those personal, quote-unquote, personal responsibility requirements entail, Madam Speaker, unfortunately, are tax penalties for those people who don't carry insurance.
So is your premise that you would ask that the Department of Banking and Insurance provide that comprehensive and detailed information to disseminate? Because the bill that we are posting is a bill that requires DOBI to inform the public. So is your point that you would expect that the administration would instruct DOBI to tell the whole comprehensive nature of the Affordable Care Act?
Right. I think that's precisely right, Madam Speaker. I think this bill, as it goes forward, when we do a public information campaign about the personal responsibility requirements of Obamacare, we should tell the people that, hey, if you don't sign up, if you don't get this insurance, there's a tax to pay.
Well, I think that's the point of the Assemblyman's bill.
Right, exactly.
Yes, that is the point of the Assemblyman's bill, that DOBI would communicate to the residents of the state all the elements of the act, and I am certain they will provide instruction if this is enacted, this piece of legislation is enacted, they would describe all of the requirements and criteria.
As well they should. And I really would encourage DOBI to do that, because these tax penalties that Obamacare will impose on New Jerseyans and people...
But you're speaking off the bill, Assemblyman Weber.
Madam Speaker.
Yeah. Your comments must be focused on a bill to guide DOBI to provide information.
Now, Madam Speaker, I know you don't like what I'm going to say. The debate you're giving me is the debate
that they had on Capitol Hill some months ago.
I understand that. Listen, I understand you don't want me to talk about the taxes, Madam Speaker, but I really am on the bill. I'm quoting from the Assemblyman's bill, talking about the personal responsibility requirements. And I just think, as a body, if we're going to inform the public about what's coming to them and the advantages or the perceived advantages of these health care exchanges, then we should tell them what the sticks are. I mean, if there are carrots in this law, we should tell them what the sticks are. The sticks are pretty heavy, but
Assemblyman, that will be the job of DOBI if this bill is enacted into law.
Well, that's exactly right. I think this bill would be better if it did clearly spell out to the people of the state that the tax penalties from Obamacare
They can do that, and I'm sure you'll have the great relationship with the Dobie commissioner to make sure that happens.
By 2016, I think you're right. We still will have a good relationship with the Commissioner of the Department of Banking.
Whomever he or she may be.
I do anticipate having that solid
Whomever he or she
relationship.
may
Yes,
be.
you're right, Madam Speaker. There are significant issues, as we all know, with the coming implementation of Obamacare. The Assembly, some of them, I think the presentation in the legislation is incomplete. I think members of this body have an obligation and actually a right to explain to the people of the state why the legislation we think is incomplete. And that's
Then
what I'm
we
trying
can
to do.
entertain a bill from you to do that. But this bill is focused on a requirement that the Department of Banking and Insurance create a public information campaign. That is all this bill that we are examining now is about.
Right. And I mean, I really have stayed on this bill very tightly, Madam Speaker, explaining that the Department of Banking and Insurance should include that information in any public information campaign.
I will gladly entertain your bill when you drop it, Assemblyman. But
Bring it
we're
to the floor?
focused on Assemblyman Conaway's bill.
Is that a promise to bring a bill to the floor if I drop one on Obamacare?
We'll talk.
Oh, okay. I almost had you, Madam Speaker. I almost had you.
I don't think so.
The bill also talks about access and how Dobie should be encouraging New Jerseyans to look into these exchanges because it, in theory, will increase access to health insurance plans. I think that Dobie, as they do that, should also remind New Jerseyans that the Congressional Budget Office has estimated that as many as 11 million people in the United States will lose the health insurance coverage that they already have and that they don't want to give up because of the Affordable Care Act. And as a matter of fact, the Centers of Medicare and
Assemblyman
Medicaid
Weber,
Services...
you are litigating an issue that's already been decided at the U.S. Congress. We are merely focusing on a bill requiring the Commissioner of the Department of Banking and Insurance to provide an education, a public information campaign to inform citizens of New Jersey. If this is enacted into law, you can go meet with whomever the commissioner is at the point it's enacted, and you could request that these elements be incorporated. But that's not what we're discussing with the posting of this bill.
Madam Speaker, with all due respect, I'm not trying to litigate a bill. That bill's been passed. We understand how it got passed, and now we're trying to inform the public. And as Assemblyman Conaway has a view of how this public information campaign should go, so do others in the body. And so, respectfully, I'm trying to debate a bill that is before this body and that the public, I think, deserves the right to know more about. And I think the important points have gotten out: the reduced access for college students, the tax penalties, and the loss of coverage. Madam Speaker, because I think this bill is incomplete, and I think that it should be made much better before it would move out of this body, I move to return Assembly Bill 3878 to second reading for the purposes of amendment.
Assemblyman Wisniewski.